Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Pope Cerberus here. I'm just I'm just spotlighting this weird thing that I just, because I miss Alan Moore as a ongoing force in comics, but I know he's doing other stuff, and that's cool. But this was just a weird magazine that he started a couple years ago, Dodgem Logic, and I mean, essentially, it's a you know, it's your prop. Oh, sorry, it's a proper magazine. I mean, as proper a magazine as you would find Alan Moore being associated with. Wow, that was provocative. I didn't even have to flip too far. Anyway, this was issue 1, issue 2, which is interesting. Now, keep in mind, these are all magazine size. I guess I just got this idea because of all the magazine talk with Batman Damned out. But look at this. Some of this art's really cool. It's really reminiscent of like the kind of the 60s. But then obviously with the modern elements, you know. I like this cover. I checked briefly on eBay before, and these don't necessarily go for much. Maybe some of the cooler looking covers overall, but I mean, this is the one that looks most magazine-like, so I gave him credit for that one. That looks good. But it went back to sort of odd indie magazine. Spring issue number, was that 8? I don't think I had them all, but it's like a preview of a weird indie magazine. I was starting right here with, of course, the Cerebi issue. Who deflated the giant Cerebus balloon? We can't have a parade without it. That's cool. Like I said, I don't know. I don't justify why I buy that. I think, honestly, is that I really don't mind supporting Dave Sim as a creator and an artist in comics. Despite his, perhaps, it's an interesting past. But, you know, I think it would all come down to him even saying, you know, well, not him, but he's Canadian. That's all I got to say. Beyonders, Aftershock, number 2. Beyonders is beyond awesome. And next, a book I was real happy to find, High Heaven number 1. That was awesome. I felt really good about that. Almost missed out on Hillbilly, but that's just wrong, missing out on Hillbilly. Here, let's take a look in Hillbilly real quick. One more page. Interesting. Love that cover. Bone Parish, talk about cool Dia de los Muertos covers, man. Look at that. Bone Parish. Number 3. This was this was held for me at a store that I didn't get back to for a long time, but Train 8, number 2, Zombie Express. I did manage to get that Train 8, number 1. It's by Bliss on Tap Publishing. It's not very good, I don't think. I don't know, maybe. Actually, I just noticed, I think, on the issue 1 that the art deteriorated over the course of the book, in my opinion. And, you know, faces start getting a little wacky and out around, and start doing a lot of panels black and black with black shadows. Gasolina, I've been really, at least on one level, gutsy that I've managed to stay getting this series. I could totally see that as a series or a, you know. Redneck, there's a number 15 for you. I think that was a pretty potent issue. Honestly, haven't really gotten down on Redneck since I missed the San Diego Comic-Con edition. Anyway, we'll go into that later. Or we won't. Shanghai Red, number 4. This book's awesome, and I thank the Chinnis Show for his constant updates and videos and just comic bookness. This is issue 3 of Fractured Mind. Remember that beautiful, beautiful Fractured Mind cover number 1, the white cover from Red 5 Publishing? Well, they didn't find it again, in my opinion. But once again, like I said, I got to this store that I don't get to often, and I ordered, or I had them back order me these books. So I found them when I got there. Because I never saw Fractured Mind at all when it came out. But I'm glad I got it. Red 5. I don't know if this was also in there, but I think they kind of screwed up perhaps, because I got an Elric the White Wolf number 1, but it's not that beautiful waterfall cover with those hot electric blue shadowy figures, and that I don't know. I guess that's the other cover. Lucky me. I did stick with Quantum and Woody. I've read Quantum and Woody in trade, but I've never collected them. And but I don't know. It's just a cool premise, and it's a funny book. Have yet to read these few books though. A book also that I was really stoked to even find was Fearscape. I've looked through it, and it looks just, you know, just like every other interesting comic that's out there, and there are tons. Anyway, I guess my thought on this one is look for that issue. I don't know if it's the A or B cover, the white cover. The white cover to Fearscape. That thing is beautiful. And I actually have 2 copies of this black cover, but not the white. Friendo, I'm actually going to read that book, and I'll let you guys know next time if that's worth, because I've heard several opinions, and I'd like to find out because it seems interesting. Does this seem interesting? Bam! Josh Middleton on the Batgirl. And I love Brooks, so I've secretly been buying this. You know, I've actually wanted to cut Detective less than I wanted to cut Batman. This was actually just a backup pick. I really love Dan Panosian's art on this Batwoman cover. And it's not the last issue, but it's still a great cover in that last run. Staying with Doomsday Clock, because Rorschach's kicking ass. Look at that. More I think about it, I'm sad that I missed the Upside Down Man on the cover, but that's still a killer cover, and I've gotten this version of Justice League Dark the whole time, so I'm actually really happy with that. Speaking of, I'm really happy with that. Now, I like the last issue cover better, but this is still a solid cover, and those two next to each other look awesome. Maybe I should have had that ready. Spider-Man, Dell'Otto. Okay. That's all. Death of the Inhumans. There was... maybe there was obviously another version or another cover. This is cover A, it looks like. Death of the Inhumans. But, I don't know. I just feel like I'm missing a cover. I've been buying the Moon Knight just 'cause Moon Knight, and these covers at the end have actually gotten kind of interesting. But those aren't actually the Moon Knight's covers I'm interested in right now. So, are we all in agreement that the Old Man Hawkeye is like legitimizes this old man series or idea? It's a good book. The art was a little less in that, but it was all right. We're cool. Old Man Logan, that's ending soon, and for Old Man Logan on a tear of cover after cover after cover, that's just been awesome. That's a little lackluster. Punisher number 2. I don't want to get in a rant, but I might. That I just like that cover. That's a great cover. Put that out for issue 2 of Punisher. I mean, not 6 other recycled pictures from 30 years ago. You know, 1 in 500. Like, who cares? You know, just put out a good book with a good cover. I think Marvel's a little diluting the whole comic interest, the potential of comics. If a person is buying multiple Marvel covers, then they're obviously not buying other stuff. And that's okay if you just want to collect Marvel. And listen, man, discount anything I'm saying if you don't think it's cool, because it's just my opinion on a rant in the middle of a thing. I mean, how can anyone be mad with Al Jarreau in the background? You know? Anyway, look, I just wanted to end this one kind of big. I just randomly was walking by and I saw that cover and I said, yeah, I got to get that. And I realized later that that was probably a really good thing. He's still holding that note too, by the way, Al Jarreau. Oh. All right, so check it out. I was going to end with this cover, but this cover came in. I just got a small eBay purchase on this one. But I think that the cool thing about this Avengers 1 cover is that small print run. I think there was only like 1,000 or something like that. But for an Avengers 1, 1,000 of these, I thought that was a really, really cool thing. And as you can see, Justicia Inviribus. Okay, so look for that. That's pretty interesting. It's probably about 20 bucks right now, maybe. I don't know. All right, last but not least, this pick right here. This was a book that came out this last week. It was Farlaine the Goblin, issue 7. And this, I believe, concludes the series, as you can see by book 7, The Final Land. Real quick about this story, you have your character right here, Farlaine, and he's a goblin, and he has a tree, and he's just trying to find a place to plant his tree. And he looks in all the different areas that he can look in, and there's some weird ones. And as of last issue, he hadn't found a place to plant his tree. Now, let's start from there. This issue 7, right? So it all started back in issue 1. The Tinklands. And that didn't turn out to be very good. Didn't plant his tree there. Then you got the Saltlands, and I can assume that, you know, it's probably not a good idea to plant a tree in the Saltlands. 2 copies of that, I guess. Thought I had 2 copies of 1 too, but I guess I don't. It's a very short printed book, from what I hear, like a bit less than 2,000 maybe. I don't know. The Racelands. Well, that was a fun land. No, he didn't choose to plant his tree there. 2 copies of the Racelands. This was a variant cover for issue 4. The Twistlands, and that was a trip. This is the regular. Oh, no, I don't have the regular cover to number 4. Then there's issue 5, the Vaultlands, and that was a cool story. And then I go to get my issue 6, and I realize, no, I just have another issue 5. So, there's issue 5, and no issue 6. Ugh. I don't know where issue 6 went, but this book came out over the course of, God, I don't know, a year and a half. If that, maybe longer, I don't know. But every so often, you know, they would drop a Farlaine the Goblin here and there, and I was trying to get 2 of each. Towards the end here, they started doing variant, or maybe they were doing them all alone, but I never saw any. But this is actually the variant cover to the last issue, of which I like a lot. But anyway, that's a spotlight on a really oddball indie that I'm still looking for at least 1 issue, issue 6. So anyway, there you go, y'all. Peace out. I hope he found a place to plant his tree. You know, I hope he found a place to call home. So anyway, all right. Peace out, y'all, from Pope Cerebus, and Happy hunting.